by now you've given up on them. That's sort of been me, but I mean the numbers. I like the numbers. They indicate good stuff. How about we go to? I'm not talking about Drake and Bradley, that's for sure. But I was looking at that. What a terrible matchup that is. My God.
Please don't make me talk about that.
No. Oregon State at Oregon. This is an interesting one. This line, I believe, went from 10 to 12 already. Oregon at home, laying the big number. I love this team. They went on the road and got their ass kicked. Back at home, though, they're 15-0, outscoring teams on average by 14. When you look over at Oregon State, yeah, they play a slow pace, and I know it's tough against defensive teams that score in the 60s and low 70s to sort of cover a big number. But Oregon State on the road is a completely different team. Not to mention, Oregon State beat Oregon at home, I believe. It was a pretty big ass whooping too. Yeah. So you get some revenge factor here. The thing is, though, this is a big number, right? And I was originally leaning, considering they're at home coming off of 2 losses, I was considering Oregon. But the more I look at this game, I almost like the 12 points. Now that it's up to 12, it just seems like a ton of points to me. And I bet you if I look, what's this rivalry called? I forget. There's a name for it.
The Civil War.
Civil War, yeah, thanks. I can't imagine there's been many blowouts up here in Oregon. I almost like the points now. I'm looking at it. Yeah, this is the biggest spread in a long time for this matchup. What do you think about this one?
Well, you definitely want to see that Gary Payton's junior or the second, whatever he is,
he's playing.
Good to go. He's been battling an elbow injury recently, but he's really explosive, a really good player. When you first look at it, looks like a lot of points. Oregon State not a good road team against the spread. Really have struggled. Only covered 11 of 31 recently on the road. Oregon very good at home. They're not going to lose this game. They've covered 9 of 12 at home. Look, this isn't on my radar. Oregon State, a team that struggles to score. The Pac-12 is wacky. I don't have much opinion. Maybe the over, but I have no interest in this game.
The more I look at it, the more I don't like it, to be honest with you. I mean, I was just scrolling through and I seen that, I figured that, but I don't like it. There's a reason I haven't written it down by now, and I think I figured it out. But go ahead. I finally found the game, but we'll let you go first now that I see it.
I'm going to go with kind of an interesting line here. Late game, probably I think it's the latest game on the card. I'm kind of wondering, Hawaii getting 4 points here.
This was the game I was going to pick. Yeah, this was the game I was just going to talk about. So go ahead.
Okay, I just kind of wonder, look, Irvine I like. I'm a fan of this team. I like Enja. I think it's interesting to watch them, but it's not a team that really scores. They have trouble at times scoring the basketball. If you can get him out of the game, they're not as effective inside. I like Hawaii. I think they have great guards. They can really score the basketball. They're a team that really thrives on steals and kind of fast break points. They scored 77 a game on the road, which is pretty uncharacteristic. A lot of the time teams go on the road and struggle. They haven't struggled, and defensively they've been very good lately, just giving up 60 points a game over the last 5. I think this is a low-scoring game. I don't like the way Irvine's been playing defense lately. I still think it'll be low-scoring, but I'm going to go with Hawaii. I think they win this game outright. I think this is a live dog. I think they go on the road here and win. I like Irvine, but I don't know that they're on Hawaii's level.
Yeah, I say it about this league all the time. If you took the names off the shirt and you put it on TV, with a lot of these teams, you would think it's like junior college. They don't, you got regular kids playing, not like, these unbelievable athletes you see in these big conferences. But Hawaii's a team, like you said, very athletic. They look like they could probably play in a Power 5 conference. Not saying win, but they could do better than TCU or Rutgers. And UC Irvine, I just don't see it. They get a big presence, but if you get him in foul trouble, what more do you have? I mean, they put an ass whooping on him in their last game in Hawaii. I like them also laying the points. I just think Hawaii's much more athletic, like you said. Yes, they have been playing defense, but if if the big guy gets hurt or if in foul trouble, which I'm sure, Hawaii's going to attack the basket, they don't have much more inside presence. I don't know what they're going to do. I like Hawaii also late. I have them in a couple money line parlays I've been messing around with to close them out. But I like it also, man. I really like that Hawaii play.
Yeah, look, Njai is very interesting to watch. If you've ever seen him play, it's interesting. But he's one of the slowest human beings you're ever going to find. He's really, and he doesn't have great IQ. He's just a big kid, and he's just taller than everyone else. But the guard-wise, I don't know. They don't do a lot for me. I thought they'd be better this year, but they just can't score times. I think this is a very solid play. Late night. I think they win the game. I'll take the points, but I think this is an outright win for the Warriors.
You ever see him on the offensive down? Like he'll be in the box. He's like trying to run the offense. He's pointing, telling people where to go.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
He's definitely improved. He's definitely improved his game over last year. Last year he was very raw, but
yeah.
He's improved for sure. But he's still. He can't play for long periods of time. He's just very slow.
Yeah, I agree with that. The other one I wanted to talk about, and it's an interesting one. It's a big game in conference. Eastern Tennessee State going into Mercer. We all know what happened with the Mercer, with the tragedy there. I'm not sure if they won a game since then, or if maybe they beat the Citadel, and then after that, they've been getting beat. And it's on the defensive end. They're not playing any defense. Tennessee State comes in at 18-10. A couple back-to-back wins against the Citadel in Western Carolina. A team that can score the ball. A team that I believe, what are they scoring? Yeah, 78 points a game. As much as I hate taking road teams, I don't know if I can trust this Mercer team. It almost looks like they're in a free fall. The starting guard Lewis out for a suspension for the season. They got rid of one of their forwards for a suspension, which makes me sound, if there's all kinds of suspensions swirling around the program, that's a big red flag to me. I think East Tennessee goes in there, gets a win in a very tough place to win. I think they get it done and take care of business there.
Yeah, Bob Hoffman, Mercer's coach, he's had a very solid team for a long time. They've been an A-10 or Atlantic Sun perennial for a long time, but ever since that Citadel win, which is the game right after the Bird tragedy,
right,
they lost 4 straight. They lost to Chat, went on the road, lost to Wofford, lost to Furman, and lost to a bad Western Carolina team. I like where your head's at in this game. It's not easy to win on the road, but in this conference, I've noticed the games are normally close. You got an East Tennessee State team that's on kind of a nice heater right now. They're playing pretty well.
Yeah.
They're right there with Mercer in the standings. I like this. I think Justin Lewis, that loss for Mercer's been kind of hard to swallow. They've been playing like it lately. Look, it's not hard to go beat the Citadel at home, but lately they have not played well. I think you're right here. I'm going to take the points, but I agree with the East Tennessee State. I think is another live dog. I think maybe you pair this with Hawaii, maybe get another team in there.
Sure.
Get a nice 3-team money line parlay there. I like the Buccaneers here. That's a good call by you.
Yeah, that sounds like you get like a 10-1 payout on a small little bet and see what happens. Yeah. Any other
I
ones?
think maybe even maybe throw Idaho State in there. A small favorite. I think you got a good solid play there. I want to actually, Sean, shout out before we get off the show here.
Yeah.
Mike B and I buried the hatchet. He's on the chat box here.
Oh, good.
And he's asking about Golden State and are they going to lose 2 straight? That's a good question, Mike B. I don't think so. I don't know about you, Sean. It's hard to believe that Golden State will lose 2 back-to-back games. It just seems very unlikely. On back-to-backs, they're 9-3 against the spread in the next game this year. Clippers, Clippers, they don't play defense. It's probably a high-scoring game. I don't watch the NBA like a lot of people do. I'm not as into it as I used to be, but it's hard to believe that Golden State's going to lose 2 straight. But look, defensively lately, this team has not played well, giving up 160 points a game over the last 5. But as a favorite, just 3.5 and a back-to-back also loss, I think you got to look the Warriors' way here. A little undervalued, I think.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the one thing I will say, and again, I'm not big into the NBA either, but I thought the other night San Antonio, and I didn't know Leonard wasn't going to play at the time, but I still thought that way, that San Antonio coming out of the All-Star break, going into L.A., I thought that was an easy one. I figured San Antonio would be up for the game. The Clippers are just not a team that are focused, so I figured it was a good spot. The Clippers took care of business. If Golden State's going to lose 2 in a row, this could be the only spot where they do, where you're coming out of the All-Star break, both guys, shot in the three-point contest. They worked. It was an exhausting trip for them. Maybe you catch them at the right time, and the Clippers get lucky, but it's going to take some luck to beat them. I wouldn't bet against them, I'll tell you that. But if it's going to happen, I think this could be it. So also, one other one before we get out of here. Philly guy, you mentioned Princeton Brown. Now, Princeton obviously coming off the big win. Played last night. As bad as Brown is, but I'm not laying 20 against a team that basically just wrapped up the Ivy League. Not wrapped it up, but put themselves in a good spot. I wouldn't take that at all, regardless. But Jeff, any closing words for you or anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, look, Brown's terrible, though, by the way. I don't know that that's a big deal. I mean, Princeton's still in the win column. They're still a half game back. I don't know if they've wrapped anything up. But
they didn't go a half game up after yesterday?
No, they're
half
actually
game back?
Right. They're half game back. I wouldn't lay the points. Brown's awful. So, in that, you might want to lay the number. But, yeah, I don't have much, man. Good talking to you, as always. Hey, Sean, real quick.
Yep.
Typical, didn't I touch Ohio only up 6, just collapsing like always. It's never easy, Sean. Anything involving me right now, you probably just want to bet the other side. It's just not a good top position. But Sean, good hearing from you, man. Always good chatting with you.
All right, bud. We'll talk. All right, bud. Thanks. That was Jeff. You guys know him as the big man on campus. Always good rapid fire session there. We wing it, guys. We have no notes in front of us. We just go off the top of our heads. So, we try to get a few games in there, give some opinion rather than getting into the details and the big breakdown. We try to get as many games as we can. So, hopefully you guys enjoy the Saturday thing. It's sort of become a tradition there. Brown covered it last night against Penn, Philly guy, but I don't know. So some games we talked about, I know he was talking about the St. Mary's game. God bless me if I can just remember everything we just talked about. But Arkansas, Little Rock under, I was looking at, he mentioned Marshall. I like Eastern Tennessee State. We were both sort of looking at Indiana, I do believe. Hawaii was another one we mentioned. So we'll see how it goes. What a game we got going here. St. Joe's, come on, you motherfuckers. I love this team. They're covering at the moment, so hopefully we can do that, because I haven't seen a score in Texas in a while, but we shall see. Some other ones we talked about, Idaho State in southern Utah. That's one that I think is, I don't know if I shouldn't say it's a client play for him. It is one for me. And we didn't talk about IPFW at Nebraska-Omaha. Now, listen, this Nebraska-Omaha team was playing great at one point, but they're not who we thought they were, as they say. Big loss from JT Gibson, and they haven't been playing great yet. And let me face it, just keep putting your money on IPFW. But, hopefully we turn it around here. What's going on there? It might be. Oh my God, the Kimbo Slice. Did you guys see that fight with fucking Dada 5000 or whatever his name is? My God. Now, I took both underdogs last night. I took Gracie and Kimbo. That was so pathetic when he got knocked out and fucking strolled around the ring. I don't even know. They couldn't even stand. I mean, it's a good show, but listen, you make it a 1 5-minute round thing, and that's it with these guys. I mean, it's fun to see and everything. It's good ratings, but my God. Kimbo was 400, closed at 175. How about this? The over-under on the rounds. The under, 1.5, was like minus 500. The over was like plus 400. And then Shamrock bitches about getting kicked in the balls. But he did. I don't think he did on purpose. Gracie, I'd take Gracie 1,000 times again. But I think Shamrock will fight again. He might happen. But, He did? Is that what happened? He did, like, pass out, because you see them, and they're punching each other.